Hello, this is State Senator Jeff Stone with my weekly Capital Update. It's been quite a week here in Sacramento. This has been called Deadline Week, where all the bills that have had a fiscal impact on the state budget must be passed out of their policy committees. That means hundreds of bills were acted on this week, some bad, some good. One bill I'm very proud of was my Senate Bill 583 that was passed out of the Senate Education Committee. Some of you might be familiar with this type of bill since one of the key witnesses was Robert Ortega, a senior at Shadow Hills High School in Indio, who came up with the idea of SB 583, also known as the California Financial Literacy Act. Every year I hold a contest where I ask seniors in high schools across my district to come up with an idea that can become a law in California. I call this contest There Ought to Be a Law competition. After reviewing over 100 ideas, I decided Robert's idea was one of the best and had the best chance of passing, and it was an honor to meet him and hear his compelling testimony. The bill is actually very simple. It requires high schools in California to teach students some basic principles on how to manage their money after they graduate from high school. With more and more students taking on massive debt, student loans, car loans, and credit cards, to name a few, I thought it made a lot of sense to teach our kids some basic principles that can help them avoid the pain of bill collectors and bad credit. Robert did a great job making his case, and he was joined by other supporters, including the United Way and school officials from across the state that all came out to testify in support. Hopefully this bill will pass out of the Appropriations Committee, be approved by the full Senate and the Assembly, and go on to be signed by Governor Brown. This is a common sense bill, and it's one that will help students better manage their money after they graduate. I'm proud to say the bill passed unanimously with bipartisan support, and I look forward to having schools begin teaching financial literacy to save our kids from starting their adult lives with a massive wall of debt. In the near future, I'll visit Shadow Hills High School and meet with Robert's classmates, teachers, and school administrators to thank them all for their participation in their Ought to Be a Law competition. All in all, I'd say it was a pretty decent week here in Sacramento. Please visit my website, like me on Facebook, and follow me on Twitter to follow this bill and all of my other legislation. And again, as always, thank you for the honor of allowing me to represent you here in Sacramento.